Welcome back to another video everyone. Today we'll be doing some mixed operations, which involves decimals. So for our first problem here, we have a square root of 1.834 plus 0.216. And you may be wondering how would you find the square root of 1.834 without using a calculator, but it's simple. Let's just focus on these four perfectly squared numbers. And the answer when we work out the square root of them. The square root of 1.834 is nearest the square root of 1. The only difference is that we will get some remainders. Because the square root of 1 is just 1. And 1.384 is not so far from the square root of 1. We will get a whole number of 1. The whole number is any number before the decimal point. We're gonna get a mixed fraction here to work out. So we can get the square root value. Let's minus 1.834 from 1. And the answer is just 0.834. We place that in the numerator. For the denominator, we double the whole number value. We can now change this from a mixed fraction to an improper one. We multiply the denominator by the whole number value. And the result we get, we plus it with the denominator value. The final answer we get, we write it in the numerator over the same denominator of 2. We can go ahead now and divide 2.834 into 2. 2 divided into 2 equals 1. As you can see, 2 is the whole number for the dividend. And we are finished dividing it by 2 for the divisor. Which means we should have a decimal point after 1. 1 times 2 gives 2. 2 minus 2 equals 0. We carry down 8. 8 divided into 2 gives 4. 4 multiplied by 2 gives 8. 8 from 8, 0. We carry down 3. 3 divided into 2 gives 1. 1 times 2 gives 2. 2 minus 3 equals 1. We bring 4 down. 14 divided into 2 equals 7. If we keep our answer with only one place of decimal, we get 1.4. 1.4 plus 0.216 equals 1.616. For this one, we can start by working out the fraction. We want to divide 2.76 into 0.8. 0.8 is the divisor. We have to get rid of the point by moving it to the right. We also need to move the point to the right for the dividend. The same amount of time we have to move the point for the divisor to get rid of it is the same amount of time we move it forward for the dividend. 2 divided into 8 would give 0, so we combine 2 with the next digit after it. 27 divided into 8 gives 3. Because we are finished dividing the whole number side and we got 3, we place a decimal point to work the decimal values out. 3 multiplied by 8 gives 24. 24 minus 27 leaves 3. We bring down 6. 36 divided into 8 equals 4. 4 times 8 equals 32. 32 from 36 equals 4. To continue dividing, we place a 0 after 4. 40 divided into 8 equals 5. 5 multiplied by 8 gives 40. 40 from 40 leaves 0. So we found that 2.76 divided into 0.8 equals 3.45. We can now go ahead and work out 8.7 raised to the power of 2. Because it is being raised to the power of 2, that means we're gonna have to multiply 8.7 by itself 2 times. 7 times 7 is equal to 49. We write 9 below 7 and 4 above 8. 7 times 8 equals 56 plus 4 equals 60. We write down the whole 60. 8 times 7, 56. We place 6 here and 5 above this 8. 8 times 8. 64 plus the 5 we place above equals 69. We can now add. We bring 9 down since there is no number below to add it with. 6 plus 0 equals 6. 9 plus 6 equals 15. We place 5 here and place the 1 above 6. 6 plus 1 gives 7. To know where to place the decimal point, we add the decimal places for both value we are multiplying together. Multiplying 8.7 2 times, we check the decimal places for the multiplier and multiplicand. Adding 1 decimal place plus 1 decimal place gives 2 decimal places for the result when we multiply. That means our answer should have 2 numbers behind the decimal point. So we place the decimal point between 5 and 6. Adding 3.45 plus 75.69 equals 79.14. This example involves a square root of 0.51. To know what number we should minus this imperfectly squared number from, we always focus on the whole number value. So to make things clear, the imperfectly squared number always remains a little greater than the perfectly squared number in that range, but not to a point where that imperfectly squared number value is equal to or more than the next perfectly squared number that is above it. Because the whole number value is 0, that means we need to know what number comes before 1. Half of 1 is just 0.5. And bear in mind that we can take the square root value of 0.5 as 0.707. So that means we need to write the decimal value of 0.707 for the square root of 0.51. For the numerator, we minus 0.51 from 0.5. And we get 0.01 for the numerator. Remember, for the denominator, we double the whole number value. Even though whole numbers are numbers before the decimal point, but we take the same concept. We can go ahead and change this fraction to an improper one. 1.414 times 0.707 equals 0.999 plus the numerator of 0.01 equals 1.009. Over the same denominator of 1.41. Dividing 1.009 into 1.414 equals 0.71. We can now move on and multiply the numbers that are between the brackets. When multiplying numbers together that have a decimal point, we normally multiply without the points. 7 times 9 equals 63. 7 times 3 equals 21, plus the 6 we place at the top equals 27. 2 times 9 equals 18. 2 times 3 equals 6 plus 1 equals 7. We want to now add the values. We bring down 3. 8 plus 7 equals 15. 7 plus 2 equals 9, plus 1 equals 10. We need to now place the decimal point. So we count the decimal places for both values. For the first value, there is 1 decimal place. For the second there are 2. We add the places and that equals 3. So for the answer, it should have 3 places of decimal. 0.71 plus 1.053 equals 1.76. Thank you for watching. And you can subscribe if you haven't in order to not miss out on any of our videos. We upload every week.